Well, it's not quite that bad, but there is a new food fight in America. The First Lady and Democrats fighting back against House Republicans who just voted to let schools opt out of the healthy lunch plans that are costing them money because kids aren't buying them. And it comes just days after this 9-year-old, 66-pound girl got a fitness gram from her school saying she is overweight. Now, Sabrina says government-mandated menus have just got to go, right?
They absolutely do. Look, it's bad enough that the government is in the business of educating our kids. Now they're in the business of feeding them, and not just a little bit. It's breakfast, it's lunch, it's dinner, it's snacks, it's summer programs. Look, I'm a mom. The very first thing you learn when you have a child is how to feed them. It's a fundamental parental responsibility, and government is pushing parents out of their real jobs to feed their children. Yeah. This started as a program to help underprivileged kids. It is now a program that serves 31 million American students, and 40% of them are buying this food on their own. So this is a crazy, crazy program.
Rick, they try to shove this food down our throats, and the kids reject it.
You know what? Kids have been rejecting the food in the cafeterias at school since I was a kid, and that's a long time ago. I used to do it, too.
I like the French fries.
When they had them. They didn't have them every day.
I know they don't. That's part of the problem.
The problem is, instead of politicizing this, which it seems we can't get away from anywhere in this country, let's deal with the fact that we have a serious problem with obese children. We're all going to pay for that when they grow up and get diabetes. But that girl
was not obese.
No,
she's 66 pounds.
Wait, you're right. That was insane. It was absurd.
Nuts.
But you cannot judge an entire situation by one piece of insanity on either direction. So let's not do that.
All right.
We do need to deal with the problem.
Steve has skin in the game here. He is literally a card-carrying member of the sort of thing Mrs. Obama is against, right?
Yes,
there it is, his Burger King card.
Burger King and McDonald's. Kids are going to eat what they want to eat. The key thing is having, as Sabrina pointed out, having parents do the right job, and that's education. But the problem is, even so-called healthy food, the way schools do it, you want to throw it away. It's unhealthy the way they treat healthy food.
Carrie, I agree with Rick up to a point. There is a role for the administration to play. It's sort of guiding, setting an example. I remember JFK did that with regard to exercise. That's okay, but it's these mandates that are the problem.
Right, and the problem is that it's coming from on high. It's dictating from a very centralized, bureaucratic mandate, when what we need is local control, and that's what these Republicans are trying to do, is to create a local understanding of the local marketplace. So when the federal government is dictating you must buy certain types of food, the local marketplace, it's a lot more expensive, or it's just unavailable, and it's just really not fair to impose these top-heavy demands.
To impose, and then Mike Ozanian to use science as your justification. Michelle Obama's talking about potatoes being bad because science says so. Well, you know, science has a lot of different views on things. Think of all the so-called bad foods that are coming back as healthy now.
David, my doctor many years ago gave me the best advice when it came to food. He said, eat a little bit of everything and don't worry about anything. This entire program should be completely scrapped. Kids not only are throwing food away, they're not buying it. Sales at many schools are down between 10 and 12%. And we should ask ourselves why, as the federal government has increasingly become involved with nutrition at schools, has the health of young kids gotten worse and worse?
And Sabrina, it is the parents' responsibility, right? It's not the government's.
Of course it is. And I mean, look, this is just one of those ways that government tries to push parents farther out of the picture. Do we want parents to take less interest in their kids, less interest in their well-being? Of course not. We want to make sure that people have information to make good choices. But when government gets in the way, it makes it harder for parents to actually do their job.
And Rick, if you had a bowl of French fries in front of you right now, would you eat them?
Yes, but then I'm one of those kids who was eating terribly at school and grew up and got diabetes. So I'm not the example you're looking for. Look, I agree, parents should do it, but we're all going to be paying the price for when they don't.
Last word from Rick Unger. Coming up, markets keep climbing to new highs. Our informers say they have the names that'll keep taking your profits to new highs. You want to stay around for that.